Hello everyone, Scott Grove of GroovyMusicLessons.com. Dr. Groovy here with some more bluegrass lessons for you guys. I had done one yesterday, an hour-long one, which there'll be a link to directly below. You can click on that or click it away whenever you want to. That was strictly covering over the G chord only. So I'm going to continue that today, and we're just going to pick up the next two chords. Okay, will it take an hour? Probably. Okay, just as many licks as we can cram in. So we'll get the G, C, and D covered, and the G took a whole hour. Okay, so we'll continue on the same way for anybody who's interested in pursuing the bluegrass licks. And like I said again, today we'll go ahead and cover the 4 and the 5 chord, so being the C and the D. So that'll give you a G up to your C, up to your D, and so we'll have one whole progression actually covered. Today, since people always ask, using a 1983 Takamine acoustic electric. This here's the EA 360. Okay, this guy. So the EA 360, also known as a Flying A. They got sued over using the name Flying V. There's your 2-band EQ and volume. So plug it in right there. Full depth acoustic, sounds huge. Crazy rare axis. Anyway, so, and also the shirt of the day. Everybody has to check out the shirts always. Some of you have seen these. But yes, more cowbell. So you can get away with cowbell in a bluegrass band. Why? Because it's acoustic. Reminds me of the old joke that says, how many bluegrass musicians does it take to screw in a light bulb? Well, that takes 5. One of them to get up there and actually do it, and the other 4 to stand around and bitch because it's electric. Oh, I cracked me up. Okay, so let's check out, see if we're in tune with the G chord. Okay, we're done. Yeah, if you have a tuner, use it. So, I'll reflect every now and then back to a couple things that we did in the G thing yesterday, which you should still be practicing on and have no business being here yet. But hey, if you are here already, congrats. So in the key of C, okay, now we have to actually get up to it. So right now, right off the bat, we're just going to try to get out of G and go up to C. As I had mentioned in the previous video, again, we are, as a guitar player in a bluegrass band, that may or may not have a bass player, we end up having to be the bass player and the drummer and by throwing in the little licks we have to let everybody know where the 1 is in your count, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Okay, so we're playing rhythm, bass, pickup notes, which are the ones that are just a little something to let everybody else in the band know where the 1 is, or the downbeat, so everybody knows what's going on. And we get to play all the lead stuff too, whenever everybody else is quiet enough. Okay, so we got to fill up a lot of stuff and stay very consistent with the whole. Okay, so right there is the most basic way to get from the G to the C. I'm sure a lot of you know a lot of these. Some of it will just be simply going over it again. For others, it might be brand new. So hang with us and hang with the people who are just learning. And if you already know this stuff, scooch on ahead and we'll get to the stuff that you don't know. Okay, so in the G, which is always a 4-finger event, hopefully for us, just a much better sounding thing than that. Okay, is going from the G chord, and I'm sure most of you know it, but it's a standard walk up to the C. So you're in G, okay, which is this. You're in G, Okay, that's taking your ring finger here on the G. You're doing root fifth. Now we do kind of a stutter, or a we'll just call it a little stutter here. It's it's an anticipated little thing. So you hear the first note, boom, 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 and it's not actually just another note that's on time, because it is out of time. It's playing on the skip beat. So you actually play it twice in a row. So you play the 1 and then the and of the 1. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2 and a 3. Like that is how it would be counted. Okay, so again, ring finger, playing the G note, open on the A, then middle finger, 2nd fret on your A, and then finally we're going to put our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. Reason being, that way we can just take this finger that was the middle finger on the 2nd fret. As we're moving this to the 3rd fret, we're dropping this one just down 1 string. Then your C chord is right there. Okay, so you go. Now we're dropping and placing everything quickly into the C position. So that's why just build the stair steps that way. Okay, so now our root and 5th that we were playing, with the root on the low E string and the 5th on the open D string and G, is now right above us. So we're playing the C note and then going, reaching up to grab the G note with our ring finger, which is just 1 string up, same on the 3rd fret. So the same picking pattern before, boom, down, up, then bass note, down, up. And back again to that horse gallop. So you can get your percussion in there if this is a place where you need it. Okay, so that's the easiest way to get from G to C. Another way to get there, okay, that is a more bluegrassy sounding thing than it is a country thing, because bluegrass and country are different, not just because the one's plugged in and one's not. Okay, so you could do anything like, so I'm going from the G, then go in G string, then D string, hammer on, pull off of the 2nd fret on the D string. So you have then a hammer on from 2nd fret to 3rd fret, and you're building the C again, just like we did coming up there. So we have and make your C chord again. Again, that's open G, then hammer on, pull off, 2nd fret, D string. Now we get ready to make our C chord by going to 2nd fret with your middle finger and then hammer on, okay, while you build the whole chord. Okay. Just another way. I'll show you many more ways to get from G to C or G to D, whatever we need to do. Okay, so let's get into C and start playing some licks. Okay, we had a whole hour's worth of licks, pickup notes, and so forth in G all by itself. So now we get to do you know, good half hour or so on each of these chords coming up, which are C and D. So in C, what we're playing, we just need the pickup notes again to let everybody know where the beat is, where we're at. So you're playing, and it's not always going to be this way. This is just one little horsey gallop thing. Yes, we know there are all kinds of tempos and all kinds of strumming patterns and so forth, but despite what they may be, all the riffs, the licks, the pickup notes will be the same, but you'll just put them in the context or in the rhythm of whatever you're actually playing. So you just adapt yourself, because it might be going, you know, it might be going, you know, whatever, but then you just have to play the lick faster, but it'll still be the same lick. Okay, so in the key of C, the basic one is just the hammer on the D string with your ring finger, your middle finger, which is already there. Okay, on the D string, lift it up and then hammer it back down to where it was. So open, hammer on to the 2nd fret, and then play your open G string. And that's it. What I do there, I just started early and did 2 of them in a row. Okay, the last one. Then right back to your C instead of up to your G string. Okay. 1, 2. I'll get 2. There's 2. Now our other one. Okay. Okay, so you can also walk into that C. Okay. Same thing we were doing. I'll get both hands in the view here. Down the 2nd fret and build your C chord again. Okay, so you can do that as much as you want, as you can tell. You can play it all the way through an entire thing if you just want to give it something different. The only thing I changed there was adding in the G string. Same as the D string, just doing the G string with a hammer on pull off 2nd fret. But play your B string with it that is fretted already here. It just makes it fill and feel and makes a nice fill in. So everything on the 2nd fret is good and is safe, from the A string to the D string to the B string, the G string. And just a quick passing one, building back from the 2nd fret on the A string to your final C. Okay. So you can play as much of that as you want. Okay, it will get old after a while. It might be a great place to start for a solo, but use it as you will. Just know that it's a great pickup note, and then it's also a great monotonous run that is ever present in bluegrass. But that there's a pickup note, or a few pickup notes, so that gets you again into letting the band know where the 1 chord is, so they don't get lost. Okay, because it's very easy for a bluegrass band without a drummer which is the way they will be, to find the downbeat. It's just kind of hard. Okay. Quick run over that again and get you back to the G. Here in C. Okay, just the backward run from earlier, going from 3 on your A string, 3, I'm going to use like tab explanation, 3 meaning the 3rd fret, 3, 2, open, then back to G chord. So you're in C. Again, that anticipated. Okay, again. So the rest of the band will hear you well enough, or your other buddy who's sitting there playing with you, he'll know when you're going back to G, because you're definitely going back to G when you hear that. There's just no mistaking where you're going because of the bass line. Okay? So again, you have to direct everybody. You're going to be the leader of the band or of the jam session or whatever. If you're the guitar player, it's just your job to cover all the bases and keep everything tied together. Everything else is meant to basically be a rhythm instrument. You know, your banjos and your dobros and your mandolins and so forth, they're all basically doing solos. You might get, of course, your mandolin player just go that kind of thing, but that's nothing to do like what we're doing. Okay, some more stuff for the C. This one here is kind of weird. See? That's the one. Okay, from here. This here is just a good lick. And it's nothing but playing it faster and faster and faster to get it down. It's kind of awkward at the beginning. Okay. And we could add in the open string too. I'll show you the variations. Okay, so what that is keep the finger on the C. Okay, so we're working off the B string, going to do a couple pull-offs in a row. 4th fret, you can see which fingers I'm using. It's all pull-offs, so you only hit it once with your pick. So from 4, 3, 1. Those are the fret numbers. 4, 3, 1. You can use that later too, just by itself. Okay. That there on G string is 3, 2, open. Now the D string is open 1, 2, then open G string, and then finally end on your A string, 3rd fret. So we have that's cute. And then you could do pickup just with the pickup note and not do. You can just do and not have to go. So whatever works, just variation, variation. Again, don't take everything I'm playing as the rule. Take it as the basis of what you're going to create. I'm just going to show you as many different parts as I can, and you get to put them together. Use 2 notes out of one, 3 notes out of another, but playing backwards instead of forwards, and so forth and so on. That's where you get to be creative. Okay, now the this here's kind of a weird one in the fact that it is the E note in a C chord, and it's too bad that we don't have a way to get to an E flat up here on the high ones because it sounds better on the higher strings, but you can hear this and it's kind of cool. And that is actually playing, okay, okay, it's a tension builder, okay, because it's doing a flat fifth. We're used to hearing very major chords in bluegrass, a root and a fifth. Okay, this says here, and a third, of course. So this says, I'm sorry, it's actually a flatted third. 3. So, hammering on from the first fret of the D string to the second fret. Okay. We're not going to want to play anything beyond the G string because we have nothing fretted up here. It's going to be that Vegas chord. We don't need that going on, so G string, okay, so it's just going to be one of those and it can be thrown in real quick. And you can do the on the C. So that is very cool, especially if you want to do it up here. I told you we don't have an E flat string. Let's make one. Okay, let's get out of this C progression or C position and just take it to this C position. Okay, so it's just like an A chord, but you take it all the way up to the 5th fret. Okay, now let's turn it around. Use these fingers. Okay, so like you would play an A way back here. Okay, but I want you to do it middle finger, ring finger, pinky. So everything except for your first finger at the 5th fret. And you can add in with your first finger on the 3rd fret on the high E. Or you can add it behind here as a bar and pick up the 3rd fret here on the A string. And you can take it and do the whole. Okay, so you're getting almost into mandolinish territory, but it's just like basically throwing a capo on, playing an A chord here, but your capo is here, so it gives you a C chord. Now the cool thing, here's our E flat. Now it depends on how we want to do it. Best way to do it is just take off your pinky and put this finger, your first finger, E flat. So on the 5th fret of the B string, but one back. So that's your E flat. Put the others back where they were. So now you have 5, 5, and on the B string 4. And we're going to hammer on with our pinky. Okay. Okay, and you've got a high E string if you want to put it there, or otherwise shut it up by using one of your other fingers to just grab the string. And again, if you want some low stuff. Okay, till you get to it. Okay, that's doing the butterfly picking. But you see, I do stop the pick for the E flat. Going. That's what I'm actually doing on the picking side. So okay, so keep that in mind that if you're way down here, it's not really cool to have that C note being hammered on. It's just funky sounding. But again, everything on the 2nd fret is fair game and sounds good. Okay. Again, those are all hammer-ons. Let's do this. That's G string, 2nd fret hammer-on, then B string, which has the note on the 1st fret. Okay. Hammer-on pull-off, which is D string, hammer-on pull-off. Oh, sorry, just hammer-on, and then the G string. My bad again. Got a funky brain today. Okay, back to what we've already done. Okay, that there is, I'm going all over the place to add as many licks as I can, the most bang for your dollar that you're not spending. Okay, there I'm just going to the D with the other finger. Hammer on, pull off on the G. Now keep your C note where it's at. Now we're going to do a D note. So you're hammering on to the 3rd fret, but leaving that one finger there. And you can always add in the high E. Okay? So way slow, it's just that. So there's a lot to be had in there. Okay, you can even add in the F. Okay, over top of the, so from 2nd fret, D string, 3rd fret, hammer on, then the G string. So this adds more stuff in there, so it gets more modern sounding. So you're moving into at least the 80s when people started using chords that were outside of the major pentatonic scale. Okay, that's on the G string doing the same thing. Throw it in there, just like we did on the D string. Okay. Okay, this is doing what we did in the G thing. If you remember it, it's actually still doing G string, pull off from 3-2 open. Now D string, same thing. Then okay, 2 to 3 on the A string. So or the tension creator. It's actually kind of cool. It's cool the things you'll think of. Okay, play things slowed down. You'll find some groovy stuff there that won't be bluegrass, but it'll be a groovy help. Okay, because I love the sound of this kind of stuff, especially in slow tunes. Okay, so depending on what you want to do. Again, I'm not giving you the rules, I'm just giving you some hints. Again, play them backward, play them forward. Okay, more licks in the C thing. This one is cool because you get to use it everywhere, so you'll be able to use this in every key there is. Basic, we're doing this again. up to the 5th fret. Okay, but using one finger barred across your D, G, and B strings. Okay. Again, you can play all the notes. Okay, those are something you might be familiar with. If so, skip ahead. Again, we're here at the 5th fret. We're going to do all our hammer-ons on the 7th fret for 2 strings anyway. D string, 5 to 7. And then play your G string. Now, back and forth on the D and G string. Same. So you're going 5, 5, 7, back to 5. Now G string, 5, 7, 5. Okay, now we're going to add in the 1st fret on the, the first note that is not going to be on the 7th fret. It's going to be on the 6th, and that'll be on the B string. So we have now, so 5, 6, 5. If you want to go further up, you can go from this, what we were doing on the G string, now using your pinky, doing 5, 8, 5. Okay, you can even go up and get the 8 on the high E. Put that in there too. And the 7. Then, so that's just a major scale coming backwards. So from your 10, I'm sorry, me again, 8 fret on your E string, 7, let it off, 5, now 8, 6, 5, 7, 5, okay, now do 7, 5 again on the D. Now we're going to do 6, 7 on the A string, then the D string. And you can end up with the pinky on 8. Or slide into it from 7 to 8. Okay, that's to get you all the way to the end. But you'll probably actually come down and get, maybe add the top end note. Or you can add the 2 top end notes with your pinky barred across the 8th fret on the E and the B. That's a lot more bluegrass sounding than everything else. But don't forget these lower notes are here for when you want to use them. Again, don't just play them like scales sound horrible when played in songs if you play them as a scale. So now get rid of this and just remember that all these are here on the 5th fret on the G, D, G, and B strings, and okay. So you're actually doing lead stuff now. Of course, these are not pickup notes or anything, but this is for just later on when you get to play lead solos. And now you're in the C. Okay, so that's 8 to 5, pull off, and then 8 to 5 on the B string. Okay, that there's a cool one too. It's 7 on the G, 5 on the B, but you can go from 7 to 8, and that is actually beautiful when it passes by. 7 to 8. Okay. Okay, that one is 7 to 8. Then that one, your 5th fret on the B. Now back this up. So that's slide from 8 to 7, pull off to 5, then 7 to 5 pull off on the D, back to the C that is at the 5th fret of your G string. Okay. That's all I did there. Just a bunch of hammer-ons and pull-offs. Okay, so you can do them all over the place. Okay, and this is something that I use an awful lot, and that's the little lick from The Wind Cries Mary by Jimi Hendrix. Okay, is hammering on. You have this chord already, your C. So now you're going to use your middle finger on the A string on the 6th fret, and then we're going to hammer on with our ring finger on the 7th. Okay. Okay. What's cool about that is if you end a song in C, or whatever song you're going to end it in, say we were in C and everybody's crashing and burning, and then everybody's going like this, then you get to, at the very end as it's ringing out, just go. It is just cool, and the people that are older will love that because they just get a hint of something completely out of the ballpark. That is going back just 2 frets, so instead of at the 5th, take it back to the 3rd and do that little thing. Now to the 4th, and back to C. Just a neat way to end a song. I honestly end at least a couple songs every night with it after the band's just really letting it ring for some reason and trying to decide what song to do next. Everybody's going yay, and it's getting ready to die out, then you quietly come in. You know, just do it nice and subtle, but it's a cool little lick. Okay, so I hope you enjoy that one. I love that one to pieces. So more stuff in C. Just another way to walk up. Okay, this will probably be the last one I do in C, and then we'll cover a few on D. Okay, so because I only showed you how to get from G up to C one way so far, and I showed you how to get there. That was so the D string, A string. So you're doing this. So that's just another way. Another one from G. Is that. So that's going from your G on your low E string, going to the 5, sliding that to 7 on your E string. Now we're going to go 5, 7, hammer on, and then 5 on your D string. Okay. And then right down to the C chord. So. So you can do that a few times as a lick or as a turnaround or to get up to the 4 chord. So basically I wanted to give you another walking run. Or you can, while you're there, actually flatten it out, do the C chord here, and add the 2 fingers that bar across the 8th fret to get up to that cheeky 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 sounding rhythm of the C chord. So you have this. Okay. Okay, that one there showed you. Okay, when we were doing these other things earlier, slide that G string up one time for me. When I showed you this, so not too long ago. Okay, from that 7 to the 5, let's do the 7 to the 8 on G string, and then hit that B string, major tension. But we did this earlier, but in a different place. But it's nice to have many places to play it. Okay, and if you ever want this, just for fun, 2 ways to do it. That's chicken picking, and a different way than you've ever heard of, but you gotta have it in this kind of music too, just because there's always a tongue-in-cheek thing for this kind of music, and it's fun to put little pieces of things that people have heard before in the middle of them, and it's always the shave and a haircut, 2 bits, which is a so most people play it wrong and go, okay, which is not it, it's the flatted version. Okay, which is just simply 8th fret, the B string now, 8, 9, 8. Now both, okay, 7 to 8. But the other one being the chicken picking, go on all the way up to wherever you can find it actually. You can probably get up to, of course on this guitar you can get up here very easily. Great axe for flat picking up high. I'm going up to the 13th fret on the B string, playing the C note. That there is the 11th fret of the E string. And bend it up. Okay, you can also, the other one is people do it from 11 again, or I'm sorry, 13 is up to the 15th of the high E, or back to 11. Those licks are found on some of my country lessons there, because they're more country than they are bluegrass, but okay. Or blues, but they're free lessons here for them, and on my website. So there's a bunch of stuff in C. You can also remember take everything an octave higher that I've shown you, if you can get up there. If you have a C chord here, you can't really make it look like a D chord very easily, but you can take it all the way up here to 12, skip a string, 12, now 13 on the B string. Adding the pinky at 13, pull off. Okay, that there's taking the first finger, 11 to 12. Okay, just stuff to do, easy stuff. Let's get up to D. So we were in G at the last lesson for an hour. Now up to C, back to G, going backward from C, 3rd fret, 2nd, open, back to G. So that was like getting up there, but just backward. back up to C, back to G, okay, there's always an easy one, which is playing everything chromatically, which means every fret. So we start the G chord, wanting to go to the D. So you're going A string, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and then your D chord, which could be started from here if you played it like a C chord but with a bar. Sorry, oh, my poor mind needs to wake up today. So, but we're gonna go. Okay, so let's just walk up. So you actually start the lick, the walk up, on instead of the G, doing it with the 2nd fret of the A string. So if you're in G, okay, bum, 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 open note. Getting a little Roseanne Cash, Tennessee flat top box sounding, great sounding lick. So let's learn it. Going up to D. Okay, so boom, dun, boom, root 5th, boom, bum, bum, bum. Okay, 3rd fret, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, open D. When you hit that D again, boom, 2, 3, 4, dun, 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 dun. The same lick we walk down to from C, because you play the open D. Okay, to get back to your G. And it's exactly the same one we did to get from C back to G. Okay, the only thing is we were starting on D. We just played the D note, then we did the C walk down. Okay, again, faster. Let's see. Okay. So we're hanging on. So you let them know when it's going back down. You're the one that hangs on to it. You could be going from the D. Everybody out there say yee-haw when you're talking. Don't forget to get some Coney dogs and some high C's. And all that stuff will be right back later. And you guys hang in there, alright? So you can vamp over it, which is what I was doing, just hanging on the G, or on the D, sorry, on the 5. Sit there and yak and do whatever, but then finally just you're keeping people at the top of the chord progression, so they're wondering when's it going to finally come back to the 1 where everything rests whenever you want. But it's kind of cool to hang up there on a different chord instead of the 1 chord, so it's nice to hang on the 5. But again, you're the one who decides when it's time to go down to the 1. They hear that, they know real quick, and they have enough time to respond. They meaning the rest of the people that you're playing with, or the other person, or just you, or the listener's ear, most importantly, will know that you're getting ready to resolve back to the 1. Okay, so let's get a few D licks. Of course, in the key of, or not in the key of, but in the chord of D. Okay, we still need pickup notes, as we do everything. First easy one is just hammering on and pulling off your first finger that's already part of the D chord. So you heard me do it twice. So it's a real good little just thing to let people know where the 1 is again. The 1 meaning in counting this time, not the 1 chord, which would be G. So that's a real cool, and just go. Okay, so if you want to do the anticipated thing, throw it in there. It breaks things up and it makes everybody else go in a different direction for a second, so the song's not just so boom, 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 making everybody want to grab their tuba and play along. Okay, so the other one that is nice now is okay, you can take the D chord, flatten your first finger out, covering G, B, and E strings at the 2nd fret. So you're getting ready to just hammer down, ring finger, middle finger, I don't care, whatever works for you, just to finish up the D chord. So okay, so you have 2 different weight plays to go if you want to do this inversion of it. Okay, so you got a few places to mess around with. Okay, that being so just a very constant, easy picking pattern. Okay, now if we're also in D, this one here is possible for some people. I have to goof this one a little bit for me to work, but you'll get the idea. We already have the D chord. Now we're just looking to put the pinky here on the 4th fret of the G string. So try to do a hammer on. Grabbing the B string on the way up, which is already fretted at your 3rd fret. So hammer on, pick down, then up on the B string. I have to quite often just move things. So I got my middle finger on the D note, my 1st finger, index finger on the 2nd fret of the G, and then I use my really, really powerful ring finger on the 4th fret of that G string. Okay. And I come back and grab that. It's just another quick lick for you. D string, 3 to 4. Okay. 3 to 4, G string, then back. So you see how I go from the regular D to this. Okay, another cool lick. Open E, now to your B string, 1st fret, then pull it off. Now G, okay, land on that 2nd fret. Okay, that's kind of a cool one. And stop there. Okay, to get to your final destination, one or the other, go to the 3rd fret of the D string. Bend it down towards the floor just a little bit, or up, I don't care, but it's easier to bend it towards the floor and let off, or pick it. Okay, or go to the 2nd fret for a really major sounding lick. Okay, but I like the 3rd fret. Just has that Bo Cephas kind of sound in there. Yeah, I know he's not exactly bluegrass, but it adds a flavor. Again, it's not part of the major scale in the key of D, or in the chord of D. Okay, Okay, the other ones are like the other ones, which are hammer-ons, pull-offs. These will be all pull-offs. Okay, we've done these before. It's going to be 3-2 open on the D string, and same thing on the A string. And then D string open again. So slow down as I'm going, except for if I do it slower. So I'm just starting earlier and getting in 2 full sets of those. Okay. Going down to the F, the first fret of your E string, pulling it down a little bit before you go back to the D chord. It sounds like you're getting ready to go to a low tuned or a drop D tuning, which would be cool if you were detuned, but since we're not. Okay, so that would be. Okay, so you can pick them out slow. So you go quick, add 2 of them in, and then I'll do the slow thing with the lick. Okay, so you're actually playing very fast on the rhythm. The whole band's boom, 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 boom. Now you just cut it up by playing half the speed that they are, a quarter of the speed actually. Okay, you can add the whole chord in behind it since it's all right there. You can keep picking. Okay, so just add it in there slightly and it's just moving. Something's moving. So if you're in D, there is open A, hammer onto the 3rd fret, then we're doing this, the bend down towards the floor on the D string. Change it up, change it up, change it up. Don't play it just like I do. Okay, so there you go. Again, don't forget to walk down, which is the same as in C, but D. Okay, so you're back to G that way. So just some quick, helpful stuff for those of you who needed a little refresher course, or some of those of you out there who just wanted something new to work on. Just ideas. Okay, again, nothing more than that. And also, again, take everything as being just a foundation to base other licks off of. Take all the licks you know, or take these and add to them. You know, just use them as the tools they are meant to be. Again, nothing is ever set in stone in music. So enjoy the licks. Hope that helps out. And again, the link is still right below here for part 1, where it was in G. A lot of cool licks that you can transfer yourself over to the C and D things, which is what I would really like to see you do, is take a lot of the licks I showed, because I showed a whole bunch of them in G, and try to transpose transpose those up to C, and try to transpose those same licks up to D, and marry those licks in with the other ones I showed you, and that will get your brain working towards this whole bluegrass thing. I'll do some more of the bluegrass guitar stuff by request, just because you asked for it. And so far this is a good building block, the last lesson, this one, and I'll do, you know, 3 or 4 more probably, to get everybody kind of up to speed on this kind of style, and up to enough speed where you can play it convincingly and not feel like you're falling behind anywhere if you happen to go jam with a band, or if you're starting a bluegrass band, or if you're just a country player and you're looking for the licks that sound more bluegrass than country. Okay, because definitely different genres. Closer than anything else, you know, bluegrass and country, they're like first cousins, you know, but still illegal to play certain things. So once again, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com, Dr. Groovy. Come see me and head to the website. There's a link somewhere up here, it tells you, and there's a link below. I'll take you right to the website where you can get all the free lessons you want. Okay? So you guys take care, and happy flat picking. Alright? Bye-bye.